KYMA News 11, where news comes first.
Happy Thursday, everyone. We appreciate you tuning in this morning. Well, 6 U.S. states, including Arizona, have seen record upticks in coronavirus cases this week. Texas, in particular, saw its highest single-day increase with more than 4,000 new infections. But health experts are also attributing it to businesses reopening and people getting together for Memorial Day weekend. Now, Dr. Anthony Fauci reminded everyone fearing a second wave that we're still in a first wave and said people are being risky by not adhering to safety guidelines. Meanwhile, back here at home, the mayor of San Luis announcing that everyone who is out in public will be required to wear a face mask. So Mayor Gerardo Sanchez saying it is very alarming what is happening in Yuma County and in our city. It is time to do more, end quote. Now, this comes just hours after the Arizona governor announced that each city can now make their own call when it comes to certain mandates. As for the city of Yuma, Mayor Doug Nichols said in a statement that they are evaluating recommendation on masks and any other safety measures. Sadly, Yuma County is fast becoming one of the hardest hit COVID-19 hotspots in the state and in the country. Now, the governor said border counties are dealing with unique issues, so this will allow local leaders to tailor the policies. And he also added Arizona businesses must do their part to social distance and sanitize. Now, meanwhile, Arizona hospitals were treating a record number of coronavirus patients yesterday amid a surge of new cases. Now, the state's health department reported a record number of emergency room visits for the virus as well. And they also fear that hospitals could hit capacity as early as next month. Now, the health agency confirmed more than 2,000 new cases and 20 deaths alone yesterday. And happening today, the U.S. weekly jobless claims report will be released. The U.S. economy has been struggling the past few months due to the coronavirus pandemic. That number is at 1.5 million people who have filed jobless claims. Now, that's due in part to the stay-at-home restrictions that were put into place as a way to help limit the spread of COVID-19. Now, first-time unemployment benefits have fallen on a weekly basis for the past 3 months. But despite that, there are still many who need help financially from the government. Now, nearly 45 million workers were forced to file for initial unemployment benefits since the middle of March. And now to the Valley, where cases have also skyrocketed. The El Centro Regional Medical Center is expanding its ICU capacity to treat COVID-19 patients. Now, the hospital received an Alaskan shelter tent from the state that will serve as their third intensive care unit. Now, once the tent is fully running, it will fit up to 10 patients, raising the hospital's ICU bed count to 30. Now, in order for Imperial County to move forward in reopening, local hospitals need to have the ability to accommodate a 35% surge in COVID-19 cases. In recent weeks, Imperial County's Emergency Operations Center has transferred critical patients to out-of-county hospitals, and as of Monday, at least 300 patients had been transferred.
So this is going to help us maintain more cases here, so we're not having to transfer. And that's the good news story. The numbers fluctuate every day. Some day we have 1 patient being transferred, another day we have 8 patients.
And the state also sent extra nurses and respiratory therapists to help care for the patients. The hospital says the ICU unit will be ready by the end of this week. And in just the past 24 hours, the number of coronavirus cases in Imperial County jumped by 89, bringing the total to more than 4,400. Yuma County numbers shot up by 170 overnight, so that makes it 3,637 people who have now tested positive. More than 44,000 people in our region have now been tested. And so it's no surprise Yuma County is seeing an overall uptick in deaths this year, but not all are tied to the coronavirus. So News 11's Crystal Jimenez tells us what could be accounting for this rise in numbers.
There's been over 50 deaths in Yuma County from coronavirus.
Yuma County has seen more deaths this year compared to the same time last year. Yuma Mortuary and Crematory says it has handled 60 more deaths than usual.
It's really strange. This time of year, the death rate slows down just a little bit for the year, and it hasn't this year. It's continued on just like nothing's different.
Coronavirus has contributed to this increase, but according to the Yuma County Sheriff's Office coroner, there are other factors that have played a part.
That's in direct relation to the population growth that we've had. We've had a lot more individuals that have been staying full-time, such as some of our winter visitors that are now staying full-time.
It's why the funeral home has been so busy. Funeral homes have looked a little different since the pandemic began. For Yuma Mortuary, before it used to be able to hold services for up to 400 people. But because of new safety protocols, services have been cut in half. As for how they handle the bodies of those who die from coronavirus, nothing has really changed.
In our business, we handle communicable diseases every day. This disease is no different.
The mortuary ensures that the body is embalmed properly and safe for a normal viewing. That way loved ones can grieve and say their last goodbyes properly.
Metis recommends anyone attending a funeral during the pandemic to stay home if you have underlying health conditions or if you feel sick. Reporting in Yuma, Crystal Jimenez, News 11.
All right, Crystal, thanks. And the Dutch Brothers in Yuma is closing for sanitation after one of its employees tested positive for COVID-19. Now, according to Dutch Bros, the employee tested positive for the virus on June 16th and has been advised to self-isolate for 14 days. Now, the company has closed and has a third party coming in to disinfect the store before reopening. And as the COVID-19 outbreak intensifies across Latin America, confirmed cases and deaths surge. But many countries are still planning to reopen their economies, and Matt Rivers has more from Mexico City.
Here in Mexico, since June 1st, we've seen the number of newly confirmed cases of this virus rise by more than 70%, newly confirmed deaths rise by nearly 90%. But despite that, Mexico's government is moving forward with plans to reopen parts of its economy, and we are seeing that here in Mexico City without question, the hardest hit part of this country. Just this week, some 340,000 workers in the manufacturing industries here are allowed to go back to work, and the city government is also contemplating, as soon as next week, allowing people to return to places like restaurants and malls under limited capacities. Meanwhile, in Brazil, another day, another very high newly confirmed case count, roughly 32,000 additional cases confirmed by Brazil's health ministry on Wednesday. That pushes the overall total there to more than 950,000, which means that we could pass the 1 million case mark in that country as soon as the next few days. Also consider that with these 32,000 additional cases reported today, that is the fifth time in the last 9 days that Brazil has reported more than 30,000 newly confirmed cases in a single day. And finally, in the country of Honduras, it was Tuesday night during a presidential address that President Hernandez announced that he has tested positive for the coronavirus after starting to feel ill over the weekend. He was diagnosed on Tuesday. He says that his symptoms are mild, that he is working still in his capacity as president from isolation. He also told his people that his wife and 2 aides tested positive as well. Matt Rivers, CNN, Mexico City.
All right, everyone, the time now is 6:09 this Thursday morning. Well, perfect weather is on tap as we close out the rest of the week. But for now, let's take a live look at your RV World Yuma Skycam to see how things are shaping up here locally. So the Skycam giving us this beautiful yellow shot of the desert Southwest with that signature view of the water towers. Not much wind action going on with the indication of the American flag. But if you take a look at your weather graphics to see how things are shaping up regionally, so near to slightly below normal temperatures are expected through Saturday as dry and clear conditions will persist across the region. Currently in Yuma, though, it is 77 degrees and sunny, 36% for the humidity levels, and winds coming from the northwest at 3 miles per hour. The sun will set tonight at 7:49. So high pressure will slowly build over the region late this weekend into early next week, and that will result in a gradual increase in temperatures. So daily high temperatures across the lower deserts are likely to end up around 110 degrees during the first half of next week. We'll stick around for your full weather forecast up ahead.
Well, Well, with everything going on in the news right now, you may have forgotten that Father's Day is this upcoming weekend. But lucky for you, if you're one of those last-minute shoppers, I found some gift ideas that are available for you to purchase right now from local stores, or if you're an Amazon Prime member, just 1 day free shipping. Ready or not, another holiday is approaching this Sunday, June 21st. Father's Day is a time to celebrate dads and thank them for all they do. But leading up to the day could add some stress if you can't find the perfect gift. If you're in a time crunch, here are some ideas that are available for purchase right now. For the dad who loves to cook, Target has a 20% off sale on their Charbroil Performance stainless steel gas grill, retailed at $189.99. Now this is available for pickup at the Yuma Palms Target location. And for the dad who likes to be the entertainer, these large sphere silicone ice cube trays are the perfect addition to any man's drink. They can keep dad's whiskey cold without melting quickly, and they honestly just look very sophisticated rather than using normal ice cubes. And Amazon Prime members can get free 1 day shipping on these. Lastly, if your dad is the type that likes a little bit of everything, local store Dandy Home and Ranch, located on East 16th Street, are making custom gift box with a variety of different items that you can guarantee your dad to love. Make sure to call in or visit the shop to place your order as soon as possible. It's always the love and thought that counts, but hopefully some of these gift options help spark an idea to find your dad something he will treasure. For a full list of other options, you can head over to kyma.com.
All right, definitely some great tips there. Thanks for that, Dominique. Well, coming up on Sunrise, 2020 has had a rough start so far, but there's something in particular we should be proud of last year. Find out what it is after the break.
Watch your show wherever you go with Spectrum TV. With more stunning HD and thousands of free on-demand titles. It's TV the way you want it. Get it now at Spectrum.com.
Affordable? Yeah, we got that. Stylish? Got that covered too. Quality? You can bet on it. At Furniture Row, we take pride in furniture that's value priced, built to last, and makes your home look amazing. And during the epic summer sale, everything is on sale. Like the Tahoe sofa, only $299. The Pepper dining set, just $299. Plus 5 years, no interest, and free local delivery right to your doorstep. Shop the largest selection at the lowest prices guaranteed. But hurry, the epic summer sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
Every morning before the city awakens, one team is hitting their stride, preparing to help you and your family have a great day. Sunrise on KYMA, weekday mornings at 6 a.m.
We all hate making mistakes. That's why at Rogers & Rogers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, we're introducing our 3-day, 500 miles money-back guarantee. Purchase any vehicle, and you'll have 3 days and up to 500 miles to return it. No questions asked. Save $6,952 on a new 2019 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Purchase a 2019 Jeep Renegade Latitude for only $299 a month. Plus, test drive and get a $25 gift card to Walmart. It's your experience, your choice, no mistakes. Shop us online during our Drive Forward event at RogersChryslerJeepDodge.com.
A contemporary jazz saxophonist, born and raised in the Imperial Valley, with over 30 years on Billboard Contemporary Jazz Chart and over 1 million units sold in his career, Walter Beasley. Listen or download his latest project, Going Home. Available now on Amazon, Pandora, Spotify, and Apple Music. Walter Beasley. Music for the soul.
This segment brought to you by Energy Upgrade California. Keep it golden. This portion of the news is brought to you by your Imperial County Toyota dealers.
Now, your Weather Authority local forecast.
Welcome back to Sunrise, everyone. The time now is 6:15 on this Thursday morning. Well, perfect weather is on tap as we close out the rest of the week. But more on that in a bit. For now, here's a live look at your RV Yuma Skycam, giving us this beautiful shot of the desert Southwest, yellow skies to get our morning started. So if you take a look at the weather graphics, you can see currently in the valley areas, those temperatures ranging anywhere from 69 degrees in Imperial, 76 degrees in El Centro, and 80 degrees in Ocotillo. Over in Yuma County, though, temperatures also pretty pleasant as well. Anywhere from 77 degrees in Yuma, 71 degrees in Somerton, and 73 degrees in the foothills. So definitely a great time to just take advantage of the cooler weather to go out for a run or for a walk. And as we approach the afternoon forecast, you can see that's when things start heating up at 102 degrees in Yuma, 101 in Mexicali, and 102 in the YPG area. So near to slightly below normal temperatures are expected through Saturday, and dry and clear conditions will persist across the region. You can see if you take a look at the 8 days up ahead, as we approach the weekend, you are seeing a very clear warming trend into Father's Day on Monday. So 107 degrees is what we can expect then, and eventually warming up to 109 on Tuesday and Thursday. So high pressure will slowly build over the region late this weekend into early next week, and that will result in a gradual increase in temperatures. So daily high temperatures across the lower deserts are likely to end up at 110 degrees during the first half of next week, and you can see this reflected here on the Imperial Valley forecast. 110 is expected on Thursday. Father's Day in the valley coming in at 108.
KYMA's Look at the Bright Side, each Thursday, sponsored by Country Club RV.
And in this week's Take a Look at the Bright Side, a new report found that 2019 was one of the highest charitable years on record. So American individuals, bequests, foundations, and corporations gave more than $449 billion to U.S. charities. Now that's according to a study published by the Giving USA Foundation. Now measured in current dollars, that was the highest total to date. Adjusted for inflation, it was the second highest, just slightly below 2017. Now the report found that total giving was driven by an increase in donations by individuals, which remains the biggest source of charitable contributions. Donations to organizations for education, the arts, public society benefits, the environment, and animals all saw large growth in 2019 as well. Stick around, more news ahead.
How fast a baby's brain grows. It starts the moment they're born, research shows. Read with them. Words make them smart. When they begin school, they'll have the perfect start.
Go to first5california.com.
What do I do?
Seriously injured? Call the Smith Philo Law Firm.
We appreciate your business.
You gotta be kidding me. Frustrated by the insurance company? Call the Smith Philo Law Firm.
Did you know breast cancer kills more than 41,000 people every year in the U.S.?
That's 113 people every day.
That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Nearly 250,000 men and women in the U.S.
will be diagnosed with breast cancer this year.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
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 Help us save lives.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Support Susan G. Komen. Join our fight. Save lives. Visit komen.org/unacceptable.
Failure is unacceptable.
Hi, Mike Morris here from El Centro Motors. Well, Ford went ahead and did it again. 0% for 84 months. That's right, 0% for 84 months. And a possibility of no payments for 3 months. They also have 0% for 72 months on the rest of the Ford line, on 20 Explorers, 20 Escapes, the all-new EcoSport. We got a great selection of Fords. Prices are great. You need to come see us. If you don't come see me first, I can't save you any money. It's just that easy.
Do you worry about going to the dentist? Well, relax.
The Carefree Dental Card is now available in your area. Call the number on your screen and we'll send your actual card at no cost today. With the Carefree Dental Card, you go to the dentist whenever you need and you instantly pay a lot less. From exams and cleanings to more expensive procedures, they're all included with the Carefree Dental Card. The Carefree Dental Card is just $15.95 a month, and everyone in your household can use the same card.
Call the number on the screen. Representatives are standing by to assist you.
You're watching Sunrise on KYMA News 11, where news comes first.
Welcome back to Sunrise, everyone. The time now is 6:21 this Thursday morning. In your politics headlines, well, things are getting tense on Capitol Hill as lawmakers debate police reform. Now, the fight is heating up over whether to force or to encourage police to make changes. Tracy Potts is live this morning with a look at where things stand.
Here's where we are on police reform. Democrats, President Trump, and now Republicans have all created separate plans for how they'd like to deal with police reform. And on Capitol Hill, it's getting personal.
I am absolutely sitting here offended and angry as hell.
The House Judiciary Committee in a tense exchange over Democrats' plan to ban chokeholds.
You all are white males. You never lived in my shoes.
Are you suggesting that you're certain that none of us have non-white children?
Clearly, I'm more concerned about him than you are.
Who in the hell
The
you
gentleman,
are?
was that a nerve?
You damn
I yield
right
to
it was
the
a nerve.
gentleman.
And overnight, President Trump weighing in on whether the Atlanta officer charged with murder for shooting Rayshard Brooks was justified.
You can't resist a police officer like that, and they ended up in a very terrible disagreement. And look at the way it ended. Very bad.
Tensions are rising as Senate Republicans introduce their version of police reform, collecting data on no-knock warrants, withholding federal funds from police departments that use chokeholds, but not banning them outright, and requiring police to track and share misconduct, but not report it publicly.
I think this package speaks very clearly to the young person who's concerned when he's stopped by the law enforcement officers. We see you.
It is missing real, meaningful accountability for individual officers' misconduct.
This is not what tens of thousands of people are calling for. The sticking point, qualified immunity that shields officers from being sued for their actions on the job. Republicans want it, Democrats don't.
Senate Republicans need 7 Democrats to cross over to move forward and debate their bill. The White House says President Trump will support it. But Democrats are trying to figure out, do they block it or try to fix it? Tracy Potts, NBC News.
All right, Tracy, thanks. Well, the number of new coronavirus cases is now trending up in 21 states. And some states are seeing their highest average daily increases since the outbreak began. Athena Jones has more.
It was more out of sight, out of mind. We go out, it's a friend's birthday. It was a mistake.
A cautionary tale from Jacksonville, Florida, where 16 friends gathered for a celebration and all 16 contracted the coronavirus.
My friends were just boom, positive, boom, positive, boom, positive, back to back to back was almost a little overwhelming.
Proof that despite the message coming from the White House and its allies, the COVID crisis in the U.S. has not abated.
It does seem that the administration wants to move beyond coronavirus, but the virus isn't going to cooperate.
In fact, new coronavirus cases are surging to record levels in several states that reopened swiftly, and experts say too soon or without sufficient precautions.
We've not changed the basic biology of the disease. The virus is out there. 95% of Americans continue to be susceptible.
Reported infections now falling in 21 states and holding steady in 8, but rising in 21 states, with 10 seeing a more than 50% jump in new cases, including South Carolina, Alabama, and West Virginia. Florida, Arizona, and Texas have set records for new cases in recent days, with hospitalizations hitting new highs in Texas, North Carolina, and Arizona, raising concerns for healthcare providers.
This week, we did hit our capacity in our COVID-designated ICU unit, and so we have been participating in that surge line to transfer patients who we believe will need ICU care within 24 hours.
But in the face of these sobering statistics and fresh warnings, Florida's governor has no plans to pause or slow down reopening.
We're not shutting down.
And as the debate over masks rages on, American Airlines asking a passenger to deplane from a flight from New York to Dallas after he refused to wear a mask. In Montgomery, Alabama, a push for masks in the hardest hit city in the state coming up short.
But until you actually mandate, because people don't believe the hype, we won't be able to stop it.
The city council failing to pass an ordinance requiring them. Meanwhile, Texas Governor Greg Abbott urging people to take precautions.
COVID-19 hasn't suddenly magically left the state of Texas.
This as the mayors of Texas' biggest cities call on Abbott to allow them to require face coverings. And with cases on the rise in Oklahoma, a judge has blocked an effort to stop President Trump's planned Saturday rally, which health officials worry could be a super spreader event.
Let me be clear. Anyone planning to attend a large-scale gathering will face an increased risk of becoming infected with COVID-19.
And in yet another indication of the outsized toll the virus is taking on minority communities, a new Brookings study shows blacks are dying at 3.6 times the rate of whites, while Hispanics are dying 2.5 times more than whites, according to CDC data.
So if we're going to spend a third of our lives sleeping, shouldn't we try to get the best sleep possible? That's why Denver Mattress is all about that sleep life. And during the epic summer sale, save $100 on our Athlete's Choice lineup. Any size, any model. Check out the Queen Size Summit Firm, only $189.99. Or purchase a Tempur-Pedic and get a $300 Furniture Row gift certificate, plus 5 years, no interest. And score free local delivery. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
Every picture has a story. At Doctors Without Borders, it's our mission to change those stories. Because thousands of children are still dying of measles. We're there with preventative medical care. Because every day, hundreds of women die from causes related to pregnancy and childbirth. We're there to assist hundreds of thousands. Because in some countries, there are only 1 or 2 mental health professionals. We're there to provide support, counseling, and clinical care. It's your care and compassion that make this happen. Picture the impact we can have together.
He lost the weight, but now is left with an unsettling reminder.
Going from 330 to 180 pounds left my body completely dilapidated.
We go into the OR for the fix. Then,
our next guest thinks she might be suffering from love addiction. You felt like it's ruined your life.
I've just had my heart broken numerous times. I've been depressed. I gained 300 pounds.
Plus,
one dad's clever hack for napping went viral.
This is so smart.
New doctors.
This segment sponsored in part by Nationwide Vision, serving Arizona for 35 years.
You're watching Sunrise on KYMA News 11, where news comes first.
Welcome back to Sunrise, everyone. The time now is 6:29 this morning. Well, the officer who killed Rayshard Brooks now faces murder charges. Now, just to recap, on Friday, 2 police officers approached Brooks while he was sleeping in his car in a Wendy's drive-thru in Atlanta, Georgia. After a peaceful encounter, they tried to arrest Brooks, but he ran away with an officer's taser. Former officer Garrett Rolfe then shot and killed him. Neither officer offered medical treatment for more than 2 minutes as Brooks lay dying. Now, Rolfe, who has had disciplinary issues in the past, faces 11 charges, including felony murder and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He could face life in prison or the death penalty. So in a press conference, Rayshard Brooks' widow spoke out, and take a listen.
I can't imagine being there because I don't know what I would have done if I would have seen that for myself. But I felt everything that he felt just by hearing what he went through. And it hurt. It hurt really bad.
You just heard from Tamika Miller after charges were announced against the cop involving in the deadly shooting. But what about the other officer? Well, the district attorney also brought 3 charges against Devin Brosnan, including aggravated assault for standing on Brooks' shoulder as he struggled for his life. The DA said Brosnan agreed to become a cooperating witness, which would make him one of the first officers in his county to testify against someone from his own department. But the officer's lawyer denied that he agreed to testify or plead guilty, and Brosnan could face up to 20 years in prison. And yesterday, they introduced the most sweeping GOP police reform legislation in years. Now, if passed, it would establish commissions to study issues of law enforcement and race, as well as push police departments to ban the use of chokeholds, improve data collection on officers, discipline records, and provide funding for things like de-escalation training and body cams. It would also make lynching a federal crime, an effort that stalled in the Senate earlier this month. How officers are rarely convicted for shootings, but with nationwide protests against police misconduct and systematic racism, the charges in this case came especially quickly. Well, now Brooks' family hopes they'll have a chance at justice while Atlanta police are calling out of work. And a symbol of racism or a device used for exercise? That's a question the mayor of a California city wants an investigation to answer. But one man says he already knows the answer because he's used the ropes before. Laura Anthony reports on the controversy.
These are symbols of torture and racial violence.
Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf is so alarmed by the video she saw of a rope that looked like a noose in a tree at Lake Merritt, she's calling for a hate crime investigation.
And I recognize that there is some information. These might have been parts of exercise equipment. The intention does not invalidate the effect.
Portia Freeman is the woman who shot video of the rope and posted it and her concerns on social media.
And I just saw something swinging. It caught my eye, caught me off guard.
But this man, Victor Sengbe, told us the rope is part of a rigging used by him and his friends as part of a larger swing system. He even shared this video of it in action with ABC 7 News.
Out of the dozens and hundreds and thousands of people that have walked by, no one, has thought that it looked anywhere close to a noose. Right, folks have used it for exercise. Folks, it was really a fun addition to the park that we tried to create.
Sengbe told us this small piece of rope still up in a tree is all part of the same system. Still, for many people, the image of anything that looks like a noose stirs up intense emotion.
Even if it was, just say, if it was supposed to be exercise rope, it is making us all unsafe.
But it's unfortunate that a genuine gesture of just, wanting to create a good time got misinterpreted into something so heinous.
All right, and with talks about police reform on the table, one local activist and father is sharing his thoughts on the conversation. So our News 11 Carmen Valencia joins us now with the story.
Brandon Sellers wants to create unity for communities of color fighting for the Black Lives Matter movement, emphasizing that the thousands of dollars that go into policing should instead go into the education system or low-income neighborhoods. A proud father and a loving older brother in the fight to end racial injustices.
Especially being a father of a black child as well, and being black myself, and learning how to maneuver through this country and the way that they treat us.
To see his 8-year-old baby girl live in a world where the color of her skin is not seen as a weapon.
I already had my daughter come up to me and saying that children don't like her because she's black or her skin color or her hair.
As conversations about police reform resurface, Brennan says the millions of dollars going into the latest high-tech law enforcement tactics should instead go into education.
We're still paying these people millions and millions of dollars for these equipments that they're killing us with.
However, he doesn't agree with police departments being fully abolished, but says that the systematic racism in police departments needs to be uprooted. 5 years from now, he hopes to see a future where his daughter is not judged by the color of her skin.
And treated fairly in all aspects, hiring processes, justice system.
Reporting in Yuma, Carmen Valencia, News 11.
All right, Carmen, thanks. And we'll now to your local crime news. The former Yuma Catholic teacher Craig Gillespie, who is being charged with allegedly asking a student for sex, just pleaded guilty on 2 counts, included aggravated luring of a minor for sexual exploitation. According to court documents, Gillespie allegedly sent messages to a 16-year-old back in March through the social media app Snapchat. Authorities say the messages were intended to persuade the alleged victim to meet him for sex, and in a separate incident, court documents show that Gillespie also sent a photo of his private parts. He is due back in court in July. And there is still time to fill out the 2020 census. A nonprofit in Imperial County decided to encourage people to fill out the census in a unique way. Janela Giglino explains.
A caravan drove past the streets of Sealy to remind people to fill out the 2020 census. The Comité Cívico del Valle, Inc. organized this caravan, driving through Sealy and 4 other small towns in Imperial County. The nonprofit chose to do a car caravan instead of the usual door-to-door canvassing to ensure physical distancing.
This means a lot for our communities. The underserved communities of Imperial County need to be fully counted. There's an estimated amount, about 30-35% of our community that doesn't get counted, doesn't get represented historically.
Miguel says that percentage is even lower in Calipatria, Sealy, Westmoreland, Heber, and east side of Brawley. As of June 16, Calexico, Brawley, Calipatria, Westmoreland, El Centro, Hopeville have had a combined response rate of 54.5%. Small cities like Sealy have yet to be counted.
But the smaller cities, they have different disadvantages than the regular cities. Just as today, the city of Sealy doesn't have an actual physical address for them to receive the actual paper questionnaire of the census. There's also limited connectivity to, or limited access to the internet. So this is why we focus our efforts on those communities that sort of have a bigger disadvantage than the other communities in the rest of the county.
The federal government used the census numbers to allocate more than $675 billion in federal funds annually for community programs and services.
It's important for the community to fill out the questionnaire because that's what we depend on to get funds from the government for the schools, the roads, government programs, just about everything.
If you haven't already, you can still fill out the 2020 census. All you have to do is log on to my2020census.gov. The deadline is October 31st.
We're very prosperous here, and by making yourself count, we're going to be even more prosperous.
Reporting in Sealy, Gianella Giglino, News 11.
Janela, thank you for that report. Well, human smugglers continue damaging the border wall along the U.S.-Mexico border in Mexicali. So far this year, Mexicali police say they have arrested more than 60 people accused of damaging the wall. A 21-year-old and 45-year-old man were the latest 2 suspects that were arrested. Police say they damaged a portion of the wall by using 2 wire-cutting pliers.
These people were arrested and they will be transferred to the public prosecutor's office of the country, who is responsible for federal charges. With these arrests, there have been 68 people who have been caught committing this type of crime on the wall.
Mexicali police started a surveillance operation called Mirror that, in coordination with Border Patrol, monitors the border wall to prevent human smuggling and organized crime. And as we just saw, Yuma County is seeing an overall uptick in deaths this year from the coronavirus, but interesting enough, not all are tied to the virus. Yuma Mortuary and Crematory say it has handled over 60 more deaths than usual compared to this time last year. The pandemic has obviously contributed to the rise in numbers, but there are also other factors that come into play, and for those who are attending a funeral these days, it may look a little different than usual.
It's really strange. This time of year, the death rate slows down just a little bit for the year, and it hasn't this year. It's continued on just like nothing's different.
According to the Yuma County Sheriff's Office coroner, there are other factors that have played a part, including population growth and more people staying in the area full time. Mattis recommends to anyone attending a funeral during the pandemic to stay home if you have underlying health conditions or feel sick. And the El Centro Regional Medical Center is expanding its ICU capacity to treat COVID-19 patients. Alexandra Rangel joins us now from El Centro with the latest from the hospital.
We're getting a closer look inside this tent that the El Centro Regional Medical Center just received from the state. According to the hospital, this tent will be used as an outside ICU unit.
A lot of these here that will start to separate patients so that we have protections between every one of the patients in both tents.
The Alaskan shelter tent received from the state will serve as ECRMC's third ICU unit. Once it's up and running, it will fit up to 10 patients, raising the hospital's ICU bed count to 30.
It's an extra ICU just in case we need additional beds. The state felt that it would help us and it would maintain a level of capacity and capability to be able to surge up in case this happened.
In order for Imperial County to move forward in reopening, local hospitals need to have the ability to accommodate a 35% surge in COVID-19 cases. In recent weeks, Imperial County's Emergency Operations Center has transferred critical patients to out-of-county hospitals. As of Monday, at least 300 patients had been transferred.
So this is going to help us maintain more cases here, so we're not having to transfer. And that's the good news story. The numbers fluctuate every day. Some day we have 1 patient being transferred, another day we have 8 patients.
The state also sent extra nurses and respiratory therapists to help care for patients.
And every bed that's going to be established is going to have all of the monitors and all of the oxygen for the patients so that we can have the bed fully operational.
According to the hospital, this tent should be up and running in the next 2 to 3 days. Reporting in El Centro, Alexandra Rangel.
All right, Alex, thanks for that report. Well, everyone, the time now is 6:42. Let's go out now to Rob Fran for the latest in sports.
They're just very welcoming. When they had first contacted me, they informed me of everything that they provided, and how good the school was and the football program, and I was really excited, and that's what really caught my attention and what really opened the doors for me to choose Briarcliff University.
An Imperial Valley student athlete has officially moved on to the next level. Welcome back, everyone. Former Central Spartan football star Angel Nava Esparza has signed his official letter of intent with Briarcliff University out of Iowa, affiliated with the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics. He officially signed his letter on The Alta Sports podcast earlier this week. Nava Esparza earned the reputation as a fierce competitor, especially with the football program, as he played with ferocity as both a running back and a linebacker. During his senior season as a Spartan last fall, Nava Esparza averaged 6 yards a carry and got into the end zone 21 times as a running back. His defensive play was just as good, if not even better, as he led the Spartans' defense in total tackles in both his junior and senior seasons. News 11 Sports caught up with Nava Esparza earlier this afternoon, and he explains what signing his letter means to him and how he plans to handle his business up at Briarcliff.
It was a feeling that I probably would never forget. If I could do it like so many times, I would do it like, I don't know, like 100 times. Like, it was like one of the best feelings I had ever had in my life. And I'm just really grateful I had the opportunity to do that. Waking up every day, just determination, wanting that spot on the team, you know. I just want to make sure that I'm always working and always trying to play at my full potential.
Nava Esparza went on to say that his experience as a Spartan will serve him well at the collegiate level. He will play running back for the Chargers this coming fall. From prep football to collegiate soccer, the Arizona Western College men's program is making it a habit of sending droves of student athletes to the next level especially the last couple of seasons. Here's a list of 10 student athletes from last season that are taking their talents to the 4-year level. We begin with a trio of matadors in Leo Amaral, Jesus Chilon, and Daniel Vasquez, all signing with Wayland Baptist University out of San Antonio, Texas. Meanwhile, Duro Dragicevic proved to be a beast as the Cardinal and Gold's keeper, recording 94 saves in a single season with the program. The Australian will move on to the University of Charleston out of West Virginia. Out of the next batch of student athletes, many of you know the name Esteban Franco. The former Gila Ridge product who helped the Hawks win the state title back in 2018 is playing his ball at Park University up near Phoenix. And rounding out the rest, Daniel Adie will be headed to Cal State University Humboldt, while Andre Fields will take his talents to St. Catherine University. We at News 11 Sports congratulate all these outstanding student athletes for this great collective accomplishment. That's going to do it for this all-local edition of sports. We got more coming up right after this.
With over $1 billion recovered and over $200 million recovered last year alone, Lerner Rowe is the law firm you know and trust with proven results. Voted best 5 years in a row.
Lerner Rowe is the way to go. Call 344-6200.
Here's to the road ahead. Trust Toyota to be here for you.
With their exceptional performance and incredible fuel efficiency, Toyota hybrids make it easy to take to the road with confidence. And right now, there's no interest financing for 60 months on our most popular hybrid models. And you get peace of mind with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan.
All from the brand you trust, today and tomorrow. Toyota.
We're all doing our part by staying at home. That could mean an increase in energy bills. You can save by using a fan to cool off, unplugging and turning off devices when not in use, or closing your shades during the day. Stay well and keep it golden.
Arizona Western College is transforming lives in South Yuma County. AWC has partnered with University of Arizona and now offers the first ever Bachelor's of Computer Science completely at home in Yuma and in San Luis, Arizona. So if you are interested in starting your 4-year degree in informatics at AWC and transferring to the University of Arizona, log on to azwestern.edu/informatics.
Each day, researchers make new discoveries that bring us closer to the moment when all cancer patients can become survivors. Some days they take small steps. Others, huge discoveries lead to giant leaps forward. This progress, both small steps and giant leaps, happens with the help of clinical trials. Clinical trials are a fundamental path to progress and the brightest torch researchers have to light their way towards better treatments. And if you've been diagnosed with cancer, they may be your brightest ray of hope. Clinical trials introduce new hope in addition to the current standard of care by allowing researchers to provide participants access to cutting-edge and potentially life-saving treatments. So if you're interested in exploring new treatment options while helping to light the path for other patients, clinical trials may be the best choice for you. Speak with your doctor and visit standuptocancer.org/clinical trials to learn more about clinical trials. Together we can stand up for all of us.
Imperial County declared a state of local emergency on March 5th. This in response to the COVID-19 pandemic that's affecting our great nation and the entire world.
The county is working proactively. How is it working proactively? It's getting together on a daily basis, informing all our cities about what we're doing.
We're making sure that all the needs of every generation in our community are met.
Changes in the way we deal with one another. They include social distancing.
Our office is currently close to walk-ins, but we are working for you. We have limited staff there, can answer your phone calls.
This portion of the news is brought to you by your Imperial County Toyota dealers. Now, your Weather Authority local forecast.
Welcome back to Sunrise, everyone. The time now is 6:29 this morning. Well, near to slightly below normal temperatures are expected as we close out the week. So for now, here's a live look at your RVO Yuma Skycam, giving us this beautiful shot of the desert southwest. So in your weather graphics, you can see where things stand currently in Yuma County. So on your future cast, much drier and clear conditions will persist across the region, and then high pressure will slowly build over the region late this weekend. Currently in Yuma, it is 77 degrees and sunny, 36% for the humidity levels. So in the valley areas, 69 degrees in Imperial, 76 in El Centro, and in Yuma County, we can see things are looking pretty pleasant as well, anywhere from 77 degrees in Yuma, 75 degrees in Somerton. As we approach the afternoon hours, we can see temperatures ranging there from 102 in Yuma to 103 in Blythe, and later tonight, 65 degrees in Somerton and 74 degrees in Yuma. But as we take a look at the next week, you can see as we approach Father's Day on Monday, things are going to be warming up anywhere up to 109 on Tuesday and Thursday. So on Father's Day on Monday, it's going to be 107 degrees, and the lows coming in anywhere from 72 degrees today and Saturday, or tomorrow and Saturday, and 76 degrees on Tuesday. Imperial Valley forecast ranging anywhere from 102 tomorrow to 109 on Wednesday and 110 on Thursday. All right, and in your consumer news this morning, Chipotle is offering customers more ways to order online. So the company introduced Pepper, its concierge bot, on Facebook Messenger. So starting on June 22nd, you can order by going to Chipotle's Facebook page and clicking Message Us. Then give Pepper your location and find the closest restaurant. Once one is chosen, you can order and customize your own meal. Chipotle is also offering a group order option where you can share a link with multiple parties to order simultaneously. And back at home, Paradise Casino reopened its doors to players and visitors yesterday. So the casino overhauled the entire game floor